I'm all for Christmas, all the happy smiles and the wishes, and I want it all from the...
Hey y'all, I'm Hannah.
And I'm Jeremy.
And we are the Savory Suitcase. And today we are making keto gingerbread cookies, which we're going to decorate for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since we've been in our kitchen.
Yep, it's been a minute. Yeah, we took a little pause from the cooking videos just to try and kind of regroup and...
Yeah, we went on our October road trip, and we hate to start this video off on a sad note, but we do want to share.
So, you know, Hannah, I told her that I would do the talking for this part. Our hearts have been heavy. Those of you that follow us on maybe Instagram or even Facebook may have seen a couple of posts that alluded to this. But unfortunately, we did have to say goodbye to our boy Max. He
was 15 and he lived a very good life.
I get goosebumps every time we talk about it. Yeah,
he lived a very long, very happy life. So
we've had him for the entirety of our marriage. We adopted Max about a week or so after we came back from our honeymoon, and we've had him ever since. Yeah. So to say that it's been a shock to our system is a major understatement.
Yeah, so he won't be around the kitchen helping us
Unfortunately,
out
my sous chef is no longer here, but hopefully, who knows, maybe sometime in the somewhat near future we'll have a new sous chef or more.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it a lot, but we'll see. So when we know, you'll know.
We definitely miss him pretty much every day.
12 out of 10 heckin' good boy.
Yeah.
So
we're trying to get back into the swing of things, get back into the
Things
kitchen.
have been weird on top of 2020, so here we are.
Yeah,
but
so we wanted to share this little bit of Christmas joy with you because we love decorating Christmas. It's something we do every year with our families. You guys saw that we made Halloween cookies this year, so we wanted to give it a try with keto. See, they say you can have... Because they still have
molasses. It's a very small amount of molasses, and they say that these are still keto. So I don't know how I feel about that. Maybe because it's such a small amount, it doesn't raise the carb level high enough to register as non-keto. So we're gonna go for it, because that was kind of the thing when we talked about this. You know,
how do you replace
molasses? How do you do a gingerbread cookie without molasses?
Well,
that's like doing a peanut butter and jelly sandwich without the jelly. It's not a thing. It doesn't happen. So here we are. Yeah, we're gonna give them a shot. We're gonna see how they come out. You know, after our copious amounts of research, we're gonna see how this goes. So come along for the ride.
Let's give it a try.
Okay, so here in our medium large size bowl, I have 3/4 of a cup of softened unsalted butter. Unsalted is very important. It's a stick and a half if you're just doing it by those measurements. So we're gonna take that, 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter softened, and then we're gonna take 1 cup of granulated swerve. You can use monk fruit sweetener, granulated stevia, granulated Splenda for baking, whatever 0-calorie sweetener you like to use, you can use in this instance. I'm gonna use granulated swerve, 1 cup. Okay, so we've got our sugar and our butter, or our sugar replacement, and our butter in a bowl. We're gonna let that sit for a second. And then in a separate bowl, we're gonna get all of our dry ingredients, our remaining dry ingredients. We're gonna do a mixture of coconut flour and almond flour. Okay, so we've got in our bowl of dry ingredients, we have 2 cups of almond flour, we have 1/4 cup of coconut flour, and then we have 1 tablespoon each of ground cinnamon and ground ginger. And then we have 1/4 teaspoon of ground clove and 1/8 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. And then we have 1/4 teaspoon of, I used kosher salt, but you could use like a fine sea salt. And we have 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of xanthan gum. So all of those dry ingredients go into a bowl. And we're just gonna take a whisk and combine those together so that they're all one mixture. Got all those nice warm gingerbread type spices going on. It smells really good. Some gingerbread recipes you'll see have black pepper, which is a very common gingerbread spice as well. You can add a little bit if you like that flavor. Okay, so we've got our softened butter and our granulated swerve. We're gonna take a hand mixer. You can use a stand mixer as well if you have the bigger ones, that's fine. We're gonna take this and we're gonna mix it just until it's creamed together.
This one's not fun.
I'm gonna take a moment to actually grab a rubber spatula and scrape down the bowl because there's not like an overly large amount of mixture in here. So I want to get everything back in the center, make sure there's no butter, sugar without the molasses on the side. Shout out to Give Kids the World. If you'd like to donate to Give Kids the World this Christmas, we're going to have a link in our video down below. Give Kids the World is actually an amazing organization that works with kids who have disabilities or terminal illness and gives them the opportunity to live life to the fullest. There's a village in Kissimmee, and for Christmas this year, they're actually putting on what's called the Night of a Million Lights, which is, it's on site where they have a theme park. So shout out to Give Kids the World. Hannah actually won these at a gingerbread house competition. She won these as one of her prizes.
I won first place.
She did. So we have, this is actually the mayor of Give Kids the World Village. So that's a very cool place. Again, link down below for Night of a Million Lights and for we're going to do a fundraiser for Give Kids the World as well if you'd like to donate for the holiday season. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. So now we have our butter and sugar and molasses mixture, and we're going to slowly add our flour in 3 different additions. We're going to add a third of it, mix it up, add a third more, mix it again, and then the final third. So I'm actually going to switch before I add my final third of dry mixture. We're getting a little stiff and dry here, so I'm going to finish mixing it by hand. And in the recipe is actually an additional or an optional tablespoon or so of almond milk or any other non-dairy milk if you'd like to use to kind of make it a little bit softer. Okay, so now that we've got our dough formed, I'm going to go ahead and drop it out onto the table. I'm going to finish mixing in a couple of these little dry bits. I did add the almond milk. I think it'll depend on how dry it is in your home or how dry the environment is. Right now it's pretty dry outside. So that could be why your dough might be a little sandy looking. If that happens, just add a little bit of almond milk. You want to make sure that it comes together as a dough, a rollable and cuttable cookie dough. All right, so now that I've got the dough to come together, I've packed it into a nice little square here on a piece of parchment paper. I'm just gonna loosely wrap this in the parchment paper. We're gonna throw it in the refrigerator for about a half an hour just to firm up a little bit and let the xanthan gum get hydrated and actually activate. And then we'll roll out, cut, bake, and decorate. All right, so we're back 30 minutes. It's been resting and chilling in the fridge. We're gonna roll it out, we're gonna cut them, and then we're gonna put them on our baking sheets lined with foil, and then we actually need to freeze them for about 10 minutes before they bake. Okay, so I actually like to roll it out between wax paper so that I don't have to dust with raw flour or anything like that. So that way the dough doesn't stick to everything. So now we've got it rolled out, and we're gonna go ahead and start cutting our shapes. So you can cut whatever shapes you like. I'm going to limit you to one polar bear.
Yeah.
Because he's a little hefty.
I think what we're going to try and do to try and strategically place all our cookies is just to make sure that we get the best, kind of place them.
This is what we did for the Halloween cookies, is we kind of preset down the cutters that we want to do. That way you can kind of plan a little bit, and then you go around and punch them all, and then you can cut out whatever's left.
All right, so Jeremy is making some piping cones out of parchment paper. Like our last video, we will link a video by actually Wilton that shows you exactly how to make these, because they're a feat of geometry and mathematics that require, I don't know, precision and geometry and angles and I don't know. So we also made a batch of keto icing, which you make with the Swerve sugar replacement. That's the kind that we like the most. And we just made it with some egg whites and water, or
Nope,
just...
egg whites and powdered sugar, just like you would make regular icing.
Yeah.
Like regular royal icing.
This stuff is amazing. It's just like science. So
Again, science. Science!
we made it the consistency of kind of a royal icing for decorating, and then it's a good texture for piping, and we'll probably thin it down a little bit if we want to do some flooding. So. Alright, so we got all of our piping bags all set up, we got all our colors mixed, and now we are ready to start decorating our cookies. This is the most fun part for me, and I think the most stressful part for Jeremy.
Listen, I'm a perfectionist, and I'm not great at this kind of stuff. The
Bugs him to no end.
Oh, sure does. The more finite side of pastry work is not my favorite.
Don't let him kid you. He makes beautiful wedding cakes. He is excellent in the kitchen.
That's debatable.
See, guys, leave him a comment to tell Jeremy how good he is.
Oh boy. Feed my ego.
Can I have the scissors?
Working on the Christmas light bulb right now. We'll see how this goes. It's yet to be determined. All right, well, we had a pretty good time. You know, I'm never 100% confident in my decorating skills.
But your cookies always turn out
But they
so
do
good.
turn out okay. Like every time I've surprised myself because I'm like, these are gonna look terrible.
I do not feel like I had a good showing this time. I only contributed the polar bear and the moon and one of these Christmas
And the
lights.
Christmas tree.
Ugh.
And the moon, yeah.
We have a couple more blank cookies that we might end up decorating in the next couple of days.
We lost a little bit of steam.
Yeah.
You know, doing this at the end of a really long work day.
And I'm covered in icing. My fingers are stained black.
We're all black and red and green. But we've got we've had this guy here for a little while, our nice little cookie jar. So we'll put him in there and we'll snack on him throughout the rest of the week.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
We're
you.
glad to be back in the kitchen,
Yes.
and we hope to make some more recipe videos in the next couple of weeks because it is the savory suitcase.
Yeah.
So
drop us a comment down below on this video. Let us know what you think we should go for. What should we try? What should we do in the kitchen? What would you like to see?
Done a lot of pastry stuff recently.
We have,
so
pancake art. So check that video out.
yeah, maybe if you've got any meal prep ideas, something like that that you're looking for, let us know.
Challenge me.
Yeah.
Give me a challenge. Drop the gauntlet.
All right. Well, we hope you all have a wonderful and safe holiday season with your families, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.